Tape Deck Media.
Well, hello there, panel pickers. Welcome to another issue of Panel Picks, the show where I, the host, Dan Bublitz Jr., and my co-host, Jeremy Plum, talk about New Comic Book Day. Yeah, how's it going, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Are you having a good holiday weekend?
Yeah, it's been a pretty easy holiday weekend. I got to hang out with a friend. About to go pick up some stuff to grill and call it an easy day.
I might actually go get a grill after this. I've been on the road for the last 2 weeks, and so if people watched last week's episode, you know that I was recording remote from my friend's dining room, but I'm back home. But after this, I think I'm gonna go get some furniture for my balcony. I'm gonna work on my balcony, and one of those things I might get is a grill. So. Gotta get a little propane grill because I'm not allowed to have open flames on my balcony.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a safety concern and they don't want us to, burn the place down.
I know we have that for our grill, but we got a free Weber grill a while back that's charcoal, and we've just been doing that.
Nice. Oh, I love a charcoal grill, believe me. I would rather do charcoal and open flame. But if I do that, I have to do it like 25 feet from the building. So I live on
same for us. We don't do it.
Yeah, I live on the second level. So.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it'd be
better.
Different if I lived on the main level, but I live on the top. There's a cool little portable camping grill that I can get that uses the small canisters of propane, and that's what I'm gonna.
Oh, nice.
Get one of those.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That way I'm not breaking any of the rules. But that's what I'm going to do after we're done recording this. So,
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, good times. Well,
yeah, and right before we recorded this, were you reading anything?
I was reading something right before this. Like, literally right before this.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's time for what we're reading.
Yeah.
And this week, we decided to continue on. And from last week we read The One Hand. And this week, we decided to read the companion series, The Six Fingers.
One positive I'm going to say is if you were reading this digitally like me, the first 3 issues of this are $1.79.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you can get it cheaper online.
Right now, yeah. Usually, like especially image books, as like after a couple of like months, or even a month or so, they just go down in price. Like, hey, like if you were trying to read the last few issues of Battle Chasers that came out a couple months ago, they're $1. Mm-hmm. Go pick it up, give it a try. So, good way to read along with these 2 books if you want to do that.
No, absolutely, and it's cool too because like this is like I said, it's a companion series to The One Hand, but it's a different team on this project.
Yes, it is.
Dan Waters is the writer, and Sumit Kumar is doing a lot of the artwork.
Yep.
I literally just read it right before we recorded. I was flipping through reading it, and the artwork's beautiful in this. And
it is.
I like so issue 1 is a little slow, but it's doing a really good job, I think, of building up the killer in the series.
See, I disagree.
You don't think it's doing a good job of building it up?
I don't. So the last like cat and mouse book I read was Nailbiter, and it was about this like mythical, almost supernatural reason, or maybe supernatural reason of why serial killers kill. And it's through centuries of trying to find this guy. And there's one guy who is the nail-biter killer. As well as there's 13 different other serial killers in this town. This one town produces a bunch of serial killers. And I get to see into this person's mind. And there's I don't know, maybe it was the detached humanity of that character that I liked them, or It felt like I knew why they killed or that they enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a guy, and I know that's the fear. Like, a killer can just be a guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this was just a dude, and kind of a boring dude to read. Whereas the last one was, like, the one hand was a gripping, like, slow but, like, tantalizing first issue. This was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have that opinion.
Yeah.
I just thought it, like I said, I thought it did a good.
What do you like about him? About Donahue? Or Jonahue, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Real quick though, since while we're talking about it, just to catch everybody up, if you haven't read this book, just a quick little description of the book. They describe this as Neo Novena. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I can't even talk.
Archaeologist.
Archaeology student. I think it's Johannes Vale. Has always been so very in control of his life, but when he commits a brutal murder using the MO of a historic and notorious serial killer, everything begins to spiral out of control. Primarily as Johannes doesn't remember doing it. So, yeah, so that's kind of what what this series is going to be, and then it follows. What follows is a deadly cat and mouse game as Johannes seeks refuge in the rain-soaked streets of the Neo Novena. He will stop nothing to unravel the secrets and ciphers of what he did and why he did it. But each revelation only leads further into the dark heart of his future metropolis and Johannes's own heartbroken soul. So, very captivating description.
Very captivating. And I think I figured out what it is. I think I figured out what got me. There's a lot of telling in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a point where he says, no, my life is out of control. I lost my papers. He lost his papers, and it seemed like he was upset, but he just lost papers. Like,
well,
it didn't seem like his life was out of control, and they said he's controlling, and then it happened once after they said it. And it's like, it didn't feel like they said a lot of it. They didn't show a lot.
I felt like because you're right. They didn't show a lot of him losing control in this because that's what I was talking about with the build-up. So they're building up to, the first thing he's, doing the presentation, loses his papers, can't find his papers. And because of that, he forgets that he's supposed to meet his girlfriend, who he runs over to meet her. And then they do another, obviously, they just outright say he has to be in control. But you can tell, like, they're building it up to show that he is starting to lose control. And it builds up to the reveal at the end of the book, which it's not really a spoiler because he is the serial killer. We all know that this is the opposite of the one hand, but finds out he doesn't remember doing it. So he's totally out of control now. And now, because he's a control freak, he wants to try to figure out what led him to do it.
Yep.
So I thought it was kind of slow, but I thought I liked the buildup of it, and to really get to know that character and kind of just a glimpse of his life. I think issue 2, I think it's going to pick up a lot faster.
Especially since the price, I might go pick up the other 3 and just kind of like blaze through. Actually, I might go even to issue 4 and just kind of blaze through and see if I feel it. Because I felt in the one hand, I felt who all these characters, everything felt so tangible and heavy and real. Not like, oh, the realism. It's just like, no, there's weight to everything.
Yep, absolutely.
They show a mutation. They show him going in and endanger this killer, and I felt nothing. It did everything. The cool thing was I got to see more of the city. That was the cool thing to me, because it didn't feel like we saw a lot of the city in the one hand, and so when we do see some sci-fi elements, I go, oh, it's sci-fi? Cool, whatever. This one feels like we're in the city, and I liked that. That was a cool. Hopefully, that's going to be the disconnect between cop and killer. One is going to be a part of the city, one is detached from humanity and whatnot, and the one detached is the cop. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be kind of a cool little reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if I was gonna rate this book, we're doing our our pals. I would probably put it at 3 out of 5 pals.
Oh, I was also gonna do 3.
That's fine.
But yeah, here's the thing: the art's great.
Yeah, I love the art.
art is great
Yep.
in this. A lot of good colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think, the big thing is there's some beautiful colors in
Yep,
this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what we read this week. Again, if you are, if you guys have suggestions of things we should read or you'd like us to talk about, do the thing where you contact us. You can send us an email,
Yeah.
panelpicspodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on the social media, panelpicspod. Now,
And
before we go into New Comic Book Day, I don't have it. I need to go grab it quick. I do want to give a shout out real quick. And so I'm going to do a very unprofessional thing, and I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, no worries. So while he's doing that, I want to shout out those who've been commenting on our YouTube page. I've been reading, and maybe not always commenting, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Is that part being cut?
That was like the elevator music.
Yeah. I can't tell if that part's being cut.
I don't know if I'm going to cut it out or not.
Okay. Well, I just, while you were gone, I was saying, for all those that have been commenting on our YouTube page, I've been reading, not always responding, but yeah.
Oh.
You have been amazing and a blast, and everyone that likes it and comments it, you make our day. Thank you.
Absolutely. I agree with all that.
Actually,
100%.
There's one person that's been commenting quite a bit. I'm going to give them a little shout out because they also have similar taste to me. So I appreciate them. At Taryn Wilson 2801.
Mm-hmm. That is my comic book shop clerk.
No way.
Yeah. She's the gal that runs the comic book shop.
They've been fantastic.
Yeah, they've fantastic.
They're talking about I Heart Skull Crushers. Also, we just got to shout out so remember when we were talking about in Distillery I'm sorry.
What are you doing? Are you gonna speak or what? Am I gonna have to cut this out?
We're gonna have to cut this part out. Actually, we're gonna have to cut this part out for half a second. No, everyone that's been commenting, seriously, fantastic.
Right, but you were saying we had a shout out. What's the?
JC Distillery, who we shouted out for our recommendation as the Distillery book last week. Said thank you for the shout out.
Nice, fantastic. That took you a long way to get to him.
It did. I just got real shocked. I was happy.
I was like, you that took forever for you.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
That's funny. Well, I want to do a quick thing. That's why before we get into New Comic Book Day, real quick. So my friend, when I was back in South Dakota, I met up with a friend. He's been writing some comics and graphic novels, and he started his own company. And I was like, oh man, I have this new comic book podcast. What's the book? I'd love to give you a shout out. And then he gave me a copy of it, and it is beautiful. So
yeah, you showed me pictures. It looks lovely.
It is gorgeous. Yes. So my buddy Zeke Hansen that's my friend who's one of the co-writers, and then Tyler Lighton are the writers, and then it was illustrated by Matt Vadas. But anyway, it's a very beautiful book. There's a lot of very gorgeous art in there. I think I haven't got to crack it open yet, but I am going to read it. Look at that gorgeousness.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. You showed me pictures of it on your, and it was, I couldn't get over how beautiful it was.
Yeah, this is a very beautiful book. But anyway, if anybody out there, they did a Kickstarter, and they hit their goal, and they were able to, get it printed and send out to the people who backed the project. But also, if you can still get it. If you go to Pendragon Inn. That is their Pendragon Inn, and we'll put a link in the
Oh.
show notes. Pendragon Inn Incorporated, I think, is the website. Let me just double check and see. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see it in here, but we'll put a link to it in the show notes. But you can buy this
Yeah.
book online if you would like to get a copy for yourself.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it. So shout out to Zeke, and thanks for giving me a copy. And I'm looking forward to reading that. So, all right, now
Thanks, Zeke.
let's get into we're way behind today, but that's okay. But it's time for us to talk about New Comic Book Day.
Woo, woo, woo.
Whoa, I'm behind because I've been traveling, so I gotta be honest. I had to do my research real quick for what was coming out this week. So if I seem a little not knowledgeable this week, that's because I'm not, because I drove all day yesterday and then I was tired. So the first thing though that we're gonna talk about was one that I think I picked for this week, one of my picks, and that's not the right one. There we go. That's the right one. Death Ratioed. The cover caught me right away when I was looking through what was coming out this week. I don't know, it's a cool cover, and then I opened it up to see what it was all about, and it piqued my interest because also I really like this company. I've mentioned this company before, the Artists, Writers, and Artisans Incorporated, AWA. They've been putting out some fantastic books here recently, but this is kind of a cool concept. So, in the futuristic dark comedy by Eisner and Ringo Award-winning writer Mark Russell, life
Yeah,
and
Mark
death
Russell's
are
really good.
ruled by social media. One too many dislikes, and you're dead. When Arnold wakes from a coma 20 years into the future, he discovers that society is now ruled by social media. Enough likes and upvotes can unlock fame and fortune, but watch your step. Enough thumbs downs, clicks, and a corner around your neck explodes.
Hmm.
Yeah, a collar around your neck explodes. So it looks like a fun book. It
Okay.
sounds interesting. I like the concept of how, because it's kind of how our world is these days, like with social media. So it's kind of a cool concept to me. So I'm looking forward to this book. I will probably pick this one up. Um,
All
another
right.
another one that really caught my interest was this book here, The First Americans. Um, this is a cool concept where it's at the end of the Ice Age, 14,000 years ago. And on the verge of starvation, a tribe of Paleo Indians travel across from Siberia to North America to hunt an exclusive pack of mammoths. But when they fail to hunt down the beast, the tribe members must adapt to their new surroundings before becoming extinct. So yeah, it just looks like a cool historical book. This is written by Christopher. What is it? Christopher Rada, and yeah, so it looks to me like a fun book.
Nice. Okay, that looks kind of fun. Okay.
Yeah. All right, the next one. This is your pick, Godzilla. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I
Godzilla.
Yeah, listen, I'm just excited. It's Mechagodzilla. These one-offs have been out of the park, a lot of fun, and honestly, it's just gonna be a couple of Mechagodzilla short stories. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping, since there's like 3 Mechagodzillas, maybe 2 if you don't count Kiryu. Kiryu is the Millennium version from 2004, made with the bones of Godzilla, the very first Godzilla. Honestly, yeah. Art looks great. There are different writers. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's a one-off. So
I always
get
love a
it.
good one shot.
Especially an anthology one-shot. You're
Yep.
gonna get a lot of fun with it. It's a cute collector's item. I highly recommend it. It looks fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Listen, mine are all dumb picks.
I don't know
Mine are
about
all-
that. This Hellverine.
This
I'm kind
looks-
of in on this.
Okay, this looks dumb. Here's the thing, and I mean this with love. This looks dumb. This looks really, really dumb.
But sometimes really, really dumb is just so much fun, especially when it
They're
comes to
calling this a
comic books.
solo. They're calling this a solo ongoing. I really hope this is a mini. I hope this is 5 issues and we're done. Because it's apparently an unnamed demon. It's a mix between Wolverine and Ghost Rider, and the writer is someone who's written Wolverine and Deadpool. I'm sorry, Wolverine and Ghost Rider. I don't know what more than you need from me here. Look, he has an adamantium skull. It's on fire. Claws are on. What more you need?
Oh, absolutely. I'm in. And some of the variant covers.
There's a lot of variants for this one. There's also already
really cool.
Marvel long boxes of this character.
Wow. Yeah, I'm in. Like I said, I'll probably check this out just because I don't know.
Yeah.
I like this out.
It looks great.
Now going over back to the Independents. This is Torpedo 1972 is coming out. This is number 3 that's coming out. This has been a fun series. So this is following an old guy in his driver. This old guy who used to be like a hitman for the mob or part of the mob, and his driver, and they keep getting into like these misadventures, like where he ends up having to kill people, and they get into like shootouts and all kinds of crazy shenanigans. But what's funny about it is that they're both old. They're like in their 70s. And so he's still a pretty good like shot and everything, but they're still, because they're old, they don't move quite like they used to.
Okay.
So
that's kind of fun.
Some comic stuff. I will say this though, it is kind of dark. They're like in the first the first issue is pretty. There's some it's an adult book. There's some stuff that's kind of dark that happened in that book, but I've been having fun with this series. I'm excited for issue 3. This is written by Enrique Sanchez Abuli with art by Eduardo Rizzo, and it's just a fun little book.
The art looks great. I've seen his art before. Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah. So, and then the final pick this week is your pick, and of course, it's Spider-Man.
I've been really enjoying this series. Like, I finally got a chance to kind of just sit down and dump through like 2 through 4. A lot of cool stuff. Like a lot of like my favorite thing again, interpersonal relationships, how they grow, how they change, which has always been Spider-Man's strength. Like the superhero-y stuff has always been really fun, but just as how does Peter Parker handle friendships? How does Spider-Man handle these things? And making an adult friend with Harry Osborn, and they're both kind of anti-heroes or superheroes. Green Goblin is a superhero right now. Talking about the relationships, how they juggle marriage and this, and it's really fun and interesting. And then also on the flip side, there's the B story that Uncle Ben and J. Jonah Jameson, they're starting their own newspaper because the Daily Bugle is corrupt by the Kingpin, yada yada yada, and they're calling it the Paper, and Mary Jane
nice.
is their PR. It's honestly, it's those type of things that keep you like in, like Hickman knows, like these are the things that make people love heroes. It is not just that they are larger than life, but it's how they love, it's how they take care of people, it's how they it's their lives, and we're getting a glimpse in their lives, and Hickman knows this, and it's really cool. And I just kind of can't wait to see how the story keeps growing. And so I'm really into this, and Hickman's turning into one of my favorite writers of the superhero genre, which is not a new statement.
Fantastic. I was surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised by this, but I was surprised by some of your other picks this week, only because
by Hellverine.
Well, no, because I saw that Sonic's coming out, so I thought for sure that was going to be on your list.
I didn't know so. I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that, and I'm a little mad.
Out, so, let's wrap up quick with. I'll just go down and just do a quick list of some other things that people might want to be on the lookout for.
Go read Sonic.
Sonic's obviously on that now, but you've got Detective Comics, Wolverine, Green Arrow, Flash, all the superhero, your Marvel, DC superhero stuff. You got King Spawn coming out this week.
Yep.
You got some Star Wars. There's a new. We're continuing Blood Hunt. There's a Black Panther Blood Hunt #1 is coming out. You got Batman: The Dark Age. Undiscovered Country is coming out this week. Let's see what else we got coming out that looks like it could be good. We got the DC Pride 2024 #1 is coming out.
Yep. I'm excited for that one.
So that should be a good time. There's a Dune book coming out or continuing. Vox Machina Origins, Critical Role Vox Machina. That's actually I might pick. I didn't see that. I might pick that up too.
Yeah,
that's been a fun one. Beyond Real. Let's see. We've got there's a new the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Best of Slash is coming out this week. You got more superhero stuff. Avengers. There's Deathstalker. Just kind of going through real quick. We got the Avengers.
May I mention?
Oh, go ahead. Go for it.
Oh yes. 2 things about the new Sonic the Hedgehog book that I should say. Great place for new people to want to jump in because it's been such a long break. This is the start of a new story, and it's number 69. So that's the funny number.
That's the funny number. So there's a lot of great stuff coming out this week. So make sure you get down to your local comic book shop, pick up your comic books.
Many.
Oh yeah, so many. I've got so many. I'm gonna probably when I'm out running my errands, I'm probably gonna go to the comic book shop because I've been gone for 2 weeks. So I have
same.
I'm afraid to see what this bill's gonna be.
I kind of want to pick up DC Pride.
So but that's not until this Wednesday.
I know.
I need to go pick up all the stuff from the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
That I've been gone. And of course, I'll be back on Wednesday to get my stuff this week too. But tell us what you're reading. Do the thing. Email us. All that stuff is in the show notes. Follow us on all the social medias. Panel Picks Pod. We'd love to hear from you. We're trying to build this community. Share the show with your friends. Like, subscribe. Follow us wherever you consume this, whether you consume it on YouTube or consume it on one of the major podcast applications. And without further ado, I think we should roll on out of here.
Have a good one, panel pickers.
And remember, support your local comic book shops.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.